Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson this morning, and I'm joined with Mzalendo. Mzalendo, habari gani?
Mzuri sana.
Habari ya siku mingi.
Niko salama salimini. Nashukuru.
Hebu angalia maki yako inaleta
Maki yangu waleta eko tena. Hebu wacha niangalie. Meanwhile. Hello. Okay. Wacha niangalie. Mike waleta eko tena.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a little echo.
Inafanya mimi nikiongea najisikia.
What about now? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, let me.
But I don't hear any echo on you.
I can get echo from you.
Why is there an echo? Is there another mic that is on?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. There's an echo. I can get myself.
You can hear the audio bouncing back.
Yeah, especially mine. And I think it's because of your mic.
Hello. Can you hear me now? What
Yes,
about now?
yes.
Is it still bouncing back?
Yeah, it is not like it's mine now bouncing back. So there must be something connection on your side with your mic.
Just connected the normal way. So not.
Or I don't know whether you have another page, because like if you're muted like that, Uzalendo. All right, thank you so much. We are just trying to figure out what is happening on the Mzalendo side, and this is Brother Benson. This morning, we want to look at what happened in Kisumu yesterday when President William Ruto made an impromptu meeting at Kisumu, and there was a large, massive crowd that received him in Kondele. And so many people have been asking and questioning how did he manage to do that without mobilization, especially from the leaders. Especially, we did not see, especially big top brass of ODM with the president, and that one begs the question: do really president need ODM if he can cruise into Kondele and make such a big crowd with him? One thing that we have to agree is that the people who are handling the mobilization of the president did a very good job to mobilize the masses for him. Because when you look at how the entourage from the Kisumu stage coming all the way to Kondele, there was a lot. And let me just go and read for you what happened here yesterday. Ruto draws a massive crowd in opposition stronghold Kisumu with development pledges. So President William Ruto, as he was in Kisumu, the massive crowd, and this is believed to be the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga stronghold or ODM stronghold. But what we saw, there were quite a number. There were few leaders, especially from ODM, who were with him, including Jared Okello, and I think Rosa Buyu also was there. But let me read this. In Kisumu Kondele neighborhood, a traditional bastion of opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga's, Ruto pledged Kenya shillings 44 billion for 14 affordable homes, 20 modern markets, student hostels, plus Kenya shillings 5 billion for roads and Kenya shillings 950 millions for Moi Stadium upgrade project set to create over 15 youth jobs. He laid the foundation for more housing and called for UDA ODM talks towards a coalition government ahead of 2027 general election, vowing unity over divided compensation for protest victims while supporters chanted two-term in approval. Opposition leaders like Kalonzo Musyoka held a rival rally in Nairobi. So as President William Ruto was in the lakeside, the opposition leader also were in Nairobi, that is including Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, and the rest of opposition leader. They were in Nairobi. Remember, they went to the office of the IG. They went to the office of the IG, and that is also something that we are going to discuss. This is President William Ruto in his tweet, which he said, "We have a solid plan to transform Kisumu as part of our wider mission to transform the country to visit world economy. In Kisumu County alone, we have committed Kenya shillings 44 billion. I don't know what happened with the project of Kanyagwal, those that president promised earlier. I don't know whether they are completed. If you're coming from Kisumu, you can also assist us to know whether those ones are completed. That will be good to know. Affordable 14,000 affordable housing units, 20 modern markets, students hostels, 10,200 learners creating jobs for more than 15,000 young people. We have allocated further 5 million for roads across the county, forgive me for that, and additional Kenya shillings 950 million investment to modernize Moi Stadium into state-of-art of facility. So those are all that is coming to Kisumu. President also laid the foundation stone for phase 2 of the 401 unit Kanyakwara affordable housing project and inspected phase 1 of the project in Kisumu County. So that is what was there for Mr. President did that. And if you go to the Twitter, that is what is there. And also Mudhurwa Market yesterday in Nairobi. This is Mudhurwa, Nairobi. Especially people turn out to meet or for the meeting of Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Martha Karua, the United Opposition. So that is what is there. Still on the tweet, this is what President also tweeted. The people of Kisumu are clear in their voice. They want development, they want prosperity, they want opportunity, they want riches, they want opportunity that reaches every household and every neighborhood. They want to belong to a government that lifts all people and leaves no region behind. We are determined to where is that? We are determined. Yes, citizen. Our collective mission is united and inclusive nation where every community has a voice, every region has value, every citizen, every stake in our shared destiny. Engage with the residents of Kisumu at Kondele and Kisumu City. Thank you, Kisumu, for your welcome, your energy, and your faith. I love you. That is President William Ruto yesterday when he was at Kondele when he visited the area. Hey, mzalendo, habari gani?
Basi niko salama. Unanisikia?
Nakusikia vizuri.
Alright.
Okay, asante sana. Unaona sasa, unaona kama fixed the problem. I was asking you, how are you doing, Sam?
I'm doing great.
It has been a while.
Yeah, imekuwa muda mrefu kidogo, shughuli hapa na pale. Na pia tumepoteleana.
Unajua
Niko mzima.
Hiyo ni vizuri. Unajua ni hali ya kutafuta, saa zingine pia itabidi utafute, kwa sababu kuna watoto walikuwa wanaenda shule, na kama we ni unakuwa ni kama baba mlezi, ama unakuwa ni kama we ni guardian, unapata
Weather pia imekuwa na changamoto mingi, imekuwa na changamoto, barafu kwa wingi na baridi.
baridi. Yes, hiyo mzuri baba. Kuna vichache tunataka tuzungumzie. Leo nataka kusikia we maoni yako sana sana kwa mambo ambayo inaendelea katika uwanja wa siasa. Jana upinzani jana walienda pale, walizuru Mudhurwa Market baada ya kutoka kuongea na IG. Vile rais pia alikuwa Kisumu, na alikuwa ameenda pale Uzima College there was a graduation pale, akakuja akaingia Kondele, na kutokana na yale tuliona katika kanda za video ni kwamba alipokelewa na halaiki ya watu wa Kondele, na maswali lilikuwa mengi. Mavigogo wa ODM walikuwepo wapi? Unajua rais atakuwa hapo tena on Monday, so inamaanisha kuwa ametengeneza ground vizuri. Maybe to begin with, what is your observation or what is your take on especially what happened in Kondele with the president getting a massive reception?
Thank you very much, Brother Ben. My take on this particular issue, on the presidential tour, you know, Kenya, we become very, very transactional. Our politics is about transactions, about penetrating the community with transaction, meaning that when the president is touring a particular area, it is transactional. It's called transactional politics.
Yeah.
And I think by and large, the Luo community, that is the Luos who are aligned to the broad-based government or to William Ruto, already are warming up to 2027. I think Ruto basically is done with the Nyanza politics, and what is doing right now is just to test the ground and see whether these people are still with me. So that is why he has the courage and to go there alone, without many leaders or without any proper mobilization from the governors and the local community around. So he's able to interact. What he's trying to tell the people of Kenya and by large the opposition, that this is now once upon a time an historically opposition zone, but today I'm commanding it. Today I'm not with the so-called leaders, ODM leaders. The so-called party leader is not here with me, but I can visit this area of Kisumu as the president and talk to the people without any commotion, and promise to come back with more goodies for the people of Kisumu. And that is what the state is offering. So yeah.
Okay, go. When you look at because I think this is the first time that President William Ruto is visiting Kondele. The last time he did, he was with the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and there are so many promises that the president made, including Kabonyo Kanyagwal. You know all those the promises. I don't know whether the leaders from those areas are keeping track of those projects. And right now, he has also made so many pledges, especially in Kisumu.
You know what puzzles me, or I don't know whether I'm the only one who thinks in a different kind of way. Uh, 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 the roads and the railway lines, yes, they are very much okay, but in Nyanza region, Kisumu, in Nyanza, the Luo Nyanza specifically, we have the fishing industry. We have the it's called what? We used to have the cotton factory. We used to have uh, what? We used to have Kikomi
Yep.
in Kisumu. Those are industries that were there in Kisumu. I have not heard any of these leaders, even in parliament, mentioning some of the industries that were in Kisumu, or talking about them passionately, like leaders from other regions talking about their coffee, their tea, and all that. So the president only offers. The things that he can, like or things that are budgeted for uh, in uh, in uh, in either parliament,
Okay.
or or sometimes a leader comes up and says that we need this Kikomi industry revived and all that, but we do not see this kind of leaders in Nyanza. These leaders are so excited to be around the president that they even forget that their people need employment, their people need industries to revive the economy of the Luo community is by through industries. It's building industries and building capacity for the people to be able to work and generate income for themselves. uh, Roads and railway lines, yes, those are also very good to open up regions, but immediate long term solution to the entire economy
Mhm.
of Nyanza is to revive the fishing economy of the Luo nation, and revive the cotton factory, and also improve on the sugar industry, so that we can have more capacity in Moroni, more capacity in Nyanza, in Sony Sugar, and more capacity in Sukari industries. Those are the big industries that are in Nyanza as we speak, but are not operating at the right capacity. So I think the president can do so much, but the leadership in Luo Nyanza is generally very, very incompetent when it comes to the development of the people.
Okay, thank you. Let me just divert. We'll come back to the rally or impromptu rally that President had in Kondele. You've talked about, I mean, the cotton farms. And when you look at Kikomi, actually Kikomi is within the Kisumu, I would say Obote Road within Kisumu CBD. Uh, and right now, when you do or you survey around those areas are majority of large big chunk of land is occupied by the real estate. So many people have built in rental houses or homes. That is one. And for you to have like a company like Ikomi to keep on working, first of all, you Ikomi as a company need to have what we call a nuclear that would sustain the production. With the population around, with everything that have changed, how then do we uh, blame the leaders with all this that have changed?
Let me tell you, these things they didn't just happen overnight. These things have been gradual. the industries started collapsing, systematic. Uh, uh, they started collapsing. Which is the right word? They started collapsing gradually. Yeah, they didn't just collapse overnight. They followed a certain pattern whereby the raw materials were not there, because most of the residents did not see value planting cotton, so they resorted to real estate instead of farming. Now, who should have informed the local community that we have an industry that is supposed to be serviced by the farmers here? Because the farmers, when they stopped growing cotton, it is because they were not seeing the benefits of growing that cotton. First, there was no industry. The industry had collapsed. The Kikomi had already collapsed. So
Yeah.
where were they going to take their cotton? So they had got no leaders to tell them, okay, fine, we are reviving this factory. We are pushing it up in parliament for the government to pick it up so that we revive this industry. Let us maintain the farms that used to supply cotton in the factories, so
Mhm.
that you become financially stable, and we are able to also to sustain the factory with the raw materials, because we cannot revive the factory yet the farmers stopped growing cotton a long time ago. We need to revive, we need to find a way of reviving the farming and the factory at the same time, so that by the time the cotton is ready, they have a place where they can the raw materials can be taken, and the byproducts of the cotton can be used for for economic activity that will help the people of Kisumu.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I look at it. So it did not just start by just a collapse. It started by leaders ignoring the situation that is already there and not
Mhm.
addressing it at the right time.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And maybe to focus now on what took place in Kondele. And there's this good friend. It's called Mark Matunga. He posted on his Facebook page, and this is what he did. I quote: "Free advice to the so-called ODM leaders from Nyanza. Ruto stormed Kisumu today through Kondele without your assistance. He was given thunderous heroes welcome without your help. He crashed your Linda ground Upuzi and went straight to the people. So as you did with your ultimatums to negotiate with UDA, just know that the only value you bring to the table is orange colored t-shirt. Remember colored t-shirts, and remember most oranges are yellow." That is the advice that Mark Matunga gave to the leaders of ODM. Do you think he's making some sense on what
Oh,
he's
no,
saying?
that's what I just told you. Our leaders are incompetent. What Matunga is telling them is that you are so incompetent that even Ruto can go to your ground. You have been going out, running up and down your lindering ground. Lindering ground for who? And for what? What
Mm,
wanalinda ground for what?
mm,
Wanalinda ground isikuwe penetrated na nani? And these are the same people running kulinda ground, and they're the same people warming up to join the government. Yeah, they are every day, without being enticed, without being. Unaona hii si kitu ni hivi, bwana Ben,
mm,
ukiwa kwa ujana wako
mm,
unatongoza msichana mm?
mm, mhm.
Na huyu msichana ni mrembo sana, ni mrembo, amekutia degi. Unajua maana ya kutia degi?
Hebu tueleze ni gani hiyo?
Yaani amekufurahisha mpaka yani umefall in love. Yani yeye tu ndio namuona, ona. So huyu msichana vile amekutia degi, sasa shida ni wewe ukienda kumtongoza chochote ile unamwambia anakubali. Twende nyumbani. Sawa sawa sawa, mume wangu, nakuoa leo. Karibu mume wangu, nimekubali. Aurudi kwenyu. Ni sawa kabisa, mimi nishakubali chochote, kila kitu, we nifanyie chochote ule unataka. Enda utusi wazazi wako. Ndaenda kuwatusi hata sana. ODM iko ni watu wamekubali chochote kile, ona. So Bwana Ruto anaangalia, kuna wale wasichana wengine pia ni warembo huko, lakini wanaringa. Wanaringa, wako na maringo. Kuna Wakamba wako na maringo kidogo. Kuna Wakikuyu wao wanaringa kabisa. Hao demand zao si kama za Wajaluo. Wajaluo wana kichochote, hawana chochote ile wana demand. Hao bora wakuwe kwa broad base 2027, Ruto 2 term. Hakuna kitu kingine wanaongea, ni Ruto 2 term na hiyo imeisha. If that negotiation is over, hakuna kitu, there is nothing that they are negotiating. Hata hizi 10 point agenda ile ati baba alikuwa amesema sijui 10 point agenda, they can't follow those things. They are so fixated with occupying a state house. You'd think that they are the one who are running for the presidency. Even the Kalenjin community who are in power are not even talking about being in government. More than this community. Even even the Luyas who are at least wakona wameshikilia kifua ya ng'ombe, lakini watu wale wameshikilia mkia, wanaongea kama hiyo ng'ombe ni yao.
Okay, unajua mi labda kitu ambacho mimi naweza sema kwamba labda mtu mmoja labda Ruto amewapatia, ama naweza sema kwamba wamepatiwa nafasi waingia kwa serikali, wakajua uzuri wa utamu wa serikali. Ndio labda maana unaona kwamba haya maneno ambayo unaona zinachipuka, ile ODM ambao labda tulikuwa tunajua, unaona hiyo nguvu za anasema kwamba umaarufu wake unadidimia kidogo. Lakini hebu nataka kusikia kauli yako kulingana na Mheshimiwa Jared. Jared Okello alipatiwa nafasi kuongea, akasema kwamba Rais William Ruto alipigania Raila sana akawa waziri mkuu, lakini alisahau kutuambia nini kilifanyika 2020, 2012, 2017 and 2022. He was very specific on when President William Ruto was working with the Right Honorable Prime Minister when he got the but he forgot to tell us what happened in 2022, even when President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Ruto came into power, whereby they were saying Raila vote was stolen. He did not tell about that. What do you think about that?
I think the head of state, there are some questions. There are some things that you cannot answer. You don't answer anything that is thrown to you. You only choose what is important for you to answer. It is very ignorant of him to start thinking of 2017, 2022. Those are bygones. People are now focused on the future. I don't know if even revisiting those years, going back to 2007, how does that help Ruto politically? Yeah, unless this is the only scorecard that is trying to play around. It's trying to tell the Luo community the most important thing that I can gather from that information that maybe Ruto can use is that he helped Baba become the prime minister in 2007. So What he's asking is Ruto will not answer that, because Ruto sparks for president. There's a lot. There's a lot that happened between Raila Odinga and William Ruto when they were in what did you call it, in the Nusumkati government. Yeah. So there's so much, and they had sharp differences until even at one point Jacom uh, sacked him. There was a scandal, the main scandal that was there. So unless you are trying to revive all these things to make Ruto look bad, or I don't know what you're going, somebody like him is going to gain by talking about all this, because politics, here in politics, we don't have permanent enemies. That is what uh, historians or our history in Kenyan politics has taught us, that these guys are indeed not enemies. Who thought that Raila Odinga will one day work with Uhuru Kenyatta? And who thought that one day William Ruto, how he used to abuse Raila Odinga, one day they will shake hand and become ndugu yangu, huyu ndugu yangu. Watu walikuwa wanatukanana, huyu ni mchawi, huyu sijui ni nani. I mean, it just tells you how politicians can stoop so low if they want something from you.
And you know, it reminds me, especially when President William Ruto was running for presidency in 2022, especially when he passed by Kondele, when he went to campaign. What happened? His entourage and all that. What happened? You know, it was quite different with what happened yesterday.
He was stoned. Just say he was stoned, not what happened. He was stoned. That's what happened. His entourage was stoned in Kondele, and then he comes back. The same people who stoned him the other day are the same people who are now welcoming him back.
But now, you know, let us just be looking at it politically. Would we give credit, especially to the President William Ruto insiders, especially those who are who organized for that, because they managed to pull a very big crowd?
I really don't think that there is a lot of an inside effort by these leaders to help Ruto get.
No, not even leaders. Forget about the ODM leaders, because like
Now, Ben, what you need to understand with William Ruto is a hands-on person. What you also need to understand with William Ruto knows ODM politics more than probably me and you. He has been there. He has been the Secretary General of this party. He knows that elections in Luo Nyanza are rigged in favor of certain candidates. He knows all that. He knows the politics around the Luo community, how they behave, what they like, what can draw, what can they make them jump so high. He knows that if he renames Talanta Stadium after Raila Odinga, that is good enough for the Luo community. He knows how to press the right buttons. He knows that when I go to Kisumu, this is what I'll say. Ruto knows the politics of Kenya. He knows what to say when he's in Nyeri, in Central. Do you remember what he said? Sasa kwama nyinyi, kwani mimi nitakuwa mjinga aje? Ni wachane na watu walinipatia kura mingi zaidi, nifuatane na wale wajinga. Na watu wajinga. You see such statements, you might think that they are hitting you so hard on the other side, but what it does where he is at that particular moment is something that people will go talking about. So he knows when to drop the mic. So he drops the mic in Central. He leaves you people talking about it. Then he goes to Kisumu. Mnasemaje Jokanyanam? Kesho nakuja Monday is launching his inaitwaje Nyota program ya kupatia watu pesa.
And let's even you've mentioned about the Nyota fund. I think Nyota fund. when you look at when he's launching, there will be young people who are coming because it was there in KC. Is now going to Kisumu, and I think people are going to apply online. When you look at the entourage or the security, the expenses that comes with it when the president visit, some of this project, you know, do you think it is
That's why I told you these are they're called transactional politics.
for president to come and launch such like project?
It is transactional politics. If you was to, if that there is a minister called Paranya. That
Yeah.
is that is his work. That is his work. If indeed this thing was going to benefit each and every other Kenyan, then
Mm-hmm.
I think this is somebody the president ought not to launch such a program. If he has initiated the launch, maybe at KICC, yeah,
Yes.
for the whole country, that is good enough. So he doesn't need to move with his entourage and waste taxpayers' money going all over the country to launch the Nyota program. They should just leave it to his handlers. Then now that tells you more about what William Ruto does not believe that his cabinet secretaries are capable of doing
Mm.
anything good for him. He thinks and he knows that he can do the job better than them because he has also been a cabinet secretary. So sometimes the positions that he has held, he thinks that he's still a CS or something. I don't know. Ruto should now know that he's the president of the Republic of Kenya and he has got people who work for him.
Okay, that is fair enough. One of the things that also I picked on president's speech, he was requesting the people of Kisumu, especially, to allow him to work with ODM, and he asked them, "Are you ready, ODM? Are you ready?" But when on the other side, if you listen to Winnie when she was having the interview, he said that these negotiations are premature. And here is the president now speaking to people on the ground and telling them, "Are you ready for me to work?" Do you think the the I mean, what was said by Winnie that this is premature can hold the ground, especially where the president has reached right now? Will somebody listen to what Winnie says?
I think the Odinga family has got a stake in ODM, and that is why you have seen the talks have slowed down. That's why you have seen Eddie Okech withdrawing the impeachment or the removal of Sifuna as the Secretary General. They toned down when the Odinga family spoke, and I told you that the last time we had the show, is that wait till these people finish mourning. When they are done with the mourning, you'll
Mhm.
see the real politics now. Mama Ida has got people on her side that she can control politically. There are people who have benefited
Mm.
from her being Minping and the wife of Raila Odinga. So there are people who have benefited politically and they hold political offices courtesy of her.
Mm.
So there are people who have benefited because of Raila Odinga lifting their hands. There are people who have benefited because of being close to Winnie and the Odingas. So all these factors play a very important role. I don't know how many people have benefited for being close to Oburu Odinga to get positions within ODM. I think there are very, very few.
Okay, on ODM here, um, what I would say the major wrangles in ODM, the big issue or the reason why maybe ODM are having these wrangles is because of there are those who are supporting government and there are those who are not supporting government. That is what is there. And based on how even Winnie talked about the NDC in your own um, or on reflection, when you look at the NDC, do you think that the NDC that is being called is a genuine NDC, or the people who are going to win in that NDC?
No, no,
Because people are saying that that NDC is already rigged.
the
People like
NDC is to break the other faction. The NDC is to clean up the house. You understand? Those who feel that they will be disgruntled after the results of the NDC can now look forward to joining other political movements. And listen, Ben, what I don't see the big problem here. If UDA is ODM and ODM is UDA, those who are in broad base, if they're and they have the same ideologies, why can't they just move to UDA?
if they move to UDA, they will not going to have a stake, because you see people like Bogatana wako.
Exactly. That is what Winnie is saying. If you move to UDA as ODM, what stakes are you going to have?
Mm.
And listen, yet uh, UDA is going to win the elections in 2027. If it wins the election, suppose UDA will win the elections in 2027. If it wins that election in 2027, you're already part of that winning team. Do you
Mm.
think William Ruto wants to negotiate with you again, or negotiate with the people who are on the other side? And if there is a possibility that William Ruto does not have the numbers to form government, then he would rather negotiate with the Kalonzo or Gashagwa team to join government. So when you are in government, when you're already in the team, you don't have powers to negotiate. But when you are outside negotiating, yeah, when you are outside negotiating, then you seem to have more power and leverage to negotiate with William Ruto than being inside the broad-based government. That is what Winnie was saying. Being outside gives you power to negotiate than saying that you accept everything and I am now on the table. I am ready for whatever positions that you are going to give me. So the current broad-based and Awanga and Oburu, they are not negotiating for anything. They are contented with Mbadi being in finance, Pio and I being in energy, and the other fellows around. Uh, Joe being in mining, they are contented with that. They are saying that hizo zingine zote tutaangalia baadaye, but sisi wacha tuingie kwa serikali.
Ambapo wapo okay, hiyo ni mzuri sana. Hebu tuachana na mambo ya ODM. Kuna what we call the politics of deceit, and this is what we saw the other day. I think you remember very well the Kenya Moja, which included Wamushomba, and people talked of her as the Iron Lady, and included Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, and the rest, the young Turks they call themselves. But during this week, the week that is now ending, we saw Wamushomba went back to the president and is now a UDA. I think even like today, she had a meeting where she was taking a Ruto two-term, and later we saw an interview by Gloria Orioba that said that there was infiltration, especially like she was a mole that was planted to get information either from Rigathi Gachagua or from Matiang'i. How is opposition prepared for this? Because if what Orioba was alleging and what now we saw Gathoni Wamushomba is back to the president, which she criticized bitterly during the Gen Z movement. How is opposition prepared with the planting of malls in the
Yeah, I think the opposition is getting its act together. I have seen some kind of organization in the last 2 days. They are moving as a unit. That
Mhm.
is a plus. They were moving in all different directions, shooting from everywhere to no direction at all. Now, if they move in one direction and shoot towards the target, then what is a part of target? Now, people like Wamushomba, people need to know who is Wamushomba, what is her history. She was a broadcaster, she was a radio presenter. And how many stations has was Mushomba been to? She has been all over these vernacular stations, presenting in our vernacular language. So for Wamushamba, one, the ground is very hot in Kiambu, where she comes from. That is seemingly there is Jubilee there and Uhuru Kenyatta, and of course, DCP is also making a lot of inroads in Central Province. Now, uh, did she get what she wanted in DCP? I think Kashagwa did not pay a lot of attention to Mushomba. And if indeed he paid some attention to her, then it was she didn't like the kind of attention that Gachagua was giving her, or maybe no attention at all. So that is why she bolted out. If you look at defections, she was the last person to leave Jubilee to join UDA. Remember that?
Yeah, I
And
do.
I can tell you, even William Ruto knows Wamushamba is likely to leave UDA at the last minute and join DCP in 2027. So this is an unreliable character. It is a character that has been tested. It is not focused, and it is not able to stay in one position at any time. She keeps on changing her position. She's a chameleon in politics. So every time she goes to UDA, you'll find she has turned yellow. If she joins your camp in ODM, she will turn orange and
Mm.
speak your language. If she comes to DCP, she will turn into DCP colors and try and speak that language. But at the end of the day, the chameleon will be smoked out, and that is how the chameleon was discovered in the opposition, and she had to take off.
All right, thank you so much. And if you want to listen to more revelation, you can watch the interview that Gloria, former senator, nominated Senator Gloria Riba had. Let me come to Embu. The other day there was a Senate accountability sitting that was, they were interrogating the governor for Embu, Cecily Mbarire. And Cecily Mbarire took 10 million, which was meant for industrial park, to facilitate the border event, which was attended by the deputy president, Kithure Kindiki. And when pressed so hard, she said that there were pressure at that moment that made her to divert that money to the event. And remember, this is the money that was meant for industrial park. And she promised not to do it again. And looking at her, or looking at the people who are supposed to be giving her advice on how it should be operating on, or even the law itself, this is somebody who did the knowing very well that I'm doing wrong, but for me to protect my job or to protect backlash because from that pressure, let me just do it. And the other day also we saw a speaker that took the money to celebrate the housewarming. So when you look at the leaders just decide to take the money that is meant for public use, and there's nothing that is being done about that. And this is happening. Even the deputy president was attending, knowing very well that this money was meant for industrial park. And the border guys also are saying, we did not receive the money. What does this one tell you about the kind of politics and the leadership that we have?
Thank you, Ben, for that question. You see, the shilling 10 million that was allocated for the construction of the
Industrial park.
industrial park.
Yeah.
That project was meant to stimulate growth in Embu and to create jobs. You know that. Then do you know she directed the money to finance a summit, yeah, a bodaboda summit, yani mkutano ya watu wa bodaboda
ambapo wewe kwamba makamu wa rais
makamu wa rais which makamu wa rais was attending,
and this was the empowerment. You know, this was called remember those days when deputy president used to
do empower. That is the money that she used to empower the bodaboda people.
No, this money was like to facilitate. It was to make that event to take place. You know, hiring of the tents and all that. And this money was meant for industrial park. And she said that she did that because there was pressure. Alikuwa amewekewa pressure.
I don't. This is a governor that has admitted guilt. This is the easiest case for the Senate. Now you will now see how Senate is compromised. Now this lady has admitted that she misappropriated the funds.
Yeah.
We want to see the verdict of Otieno Kajwang. Is called Moses Kajwang.
Ni kama alisamewa kwa sababu alisema it will not happen and she's going to return the money. You see, that's where we are.
Haya, kuna mwingine wa Marsabit ati amepanda mahindi worth 50 million in a river that doesn't even exist in Marsabit.
Na bado mko hapa.
William Samoei Ruto, hii devolution ni ya uwizi. Hawa jamaa wanaiba bwana. Hao magavana wanaiba. These people are stealing. These governors are stealing. Wanaiba kuiba. I don't know what we are, unless sasa tena mumeongezea pesa ya kuiba. While they can't account for the little that they are given, they have been added more money for them to steal. Huyu governor Mbarire kama aendi nyumbani, then Kawera Mwangaza should go back to office. Sidhani kwa nini they had to impeach Kawera Mwangaza.
No, Kawera Mwangaza does not come from Embu.
I don't understand why they had to remove Kawera Mwangaza from office. If this lady has admitted that 10 million yenyewe, mimi hiyo 10 million nilipeleka kwa function ya Kindiki, na nisameheni kwa sababu hiyo nili makosa nilifanya, nisameheni. Sasa huyu anafaa afungwe ama anafaa, kuna sheria nyingine nasema ukimisappropriate funds unasamewa?
Hakuna.
Yani siku hizi ukiiba Kenya ni msamaha tu unaweza omba, na mimi bwana, ukipakuwa pale mbele ya jaji unasema mimi bwana, ni njaa nilikuwa nanifanya niibe, lakini hiyo pesa nimeiba, mnaweza nikubalia tu nilipe, lakini mimi niliiba.
Yeah, so ndio sasa swali ni je, kama kuna makosa madogo ambayo tunaona kwamba kuna watu ambao wamevunja sheria na viongozi ambao wamevunja sheria, lakini unapata kwamba hakuna hatua inachukuliwa, wanasema kwamba tumekusamea, lakini ni jambo labda walifanya kimakusudi, ni jambo ambalo walifanya wakijua wakifanya hapo.
Walijua huyu ni mtu ambaye aheshimu pesa za wananchi, anaona ni kama ni pesa zake. anazozitumia vile anazitaka. Magavana wanafaa kuambiwa kila wakati, ile pesa wanapata pale ni taxpayers money, hiyo sio pesa yako. Na ukiona mamradi zile wanapitisha ni kama mamiradi zao. Hii ni mradi yangu, unaona, hii ni mradi yangu hii. Hata wasemi hizi miradi zimepitishwa na county assembly, hapana, hii ni miradi yangu. Ukiona gavana wa kwako yeye akitengeneza kitu anasema hii ni miradi yake. Na ukikaa ukijua katiba ya Kenya nasema mradi yoyote ile gavana anaanzisha there should be public participation.
Yeah.
So ukiona pale kwenyu Migori kuna Uchila ameweka kitu, ni wenyeji wa hapo wameamua hii ndio kitu wanataka. Yeah, so inafaa iwe ni watu wa Suna through the governor, through the county assembly are doing this project for the people of Suna, not the governor project.
Yeah, for the people of Suna.
For the people of Suna. This is the people of Suna's project, because it's being done by taxpayers' money. It is not being done by the governor's pesa ya governor. Pana.
Okay. That's it. That's so. Maybe if you're winding up, especially when you're looking, you look at the politics of ODM working with the UDA. Do you think that all the stronghold of ODM are going to endorse this political move?
You know, this is what is tricky, Brother Ben. There is the UDA chairman in Nyanza who has been working very, very hard to recruit members to UDA. And there are thousands and thousands of UDA supporters in Nyanza who are not happy with ODM. That's why they joined UDA. There are many hopeful aspirants of UDA who are in Luo Nyanza, and they want to contest in 2027 on UDA ticket. Now, the complication comes in that ODM have got no option but to work with William Samoei Ruto. And
why?
The reason,
Why do they have to? Why is it that they don't have? Why do they say that
these people have not seen what they keep on saying is that they have not seen development in 60 years. The only thing that Ruto has brought for them is development, and that is the person that they are going to work with. And another reason is the opposition is offering them nothing. You understand? The opposition is offering them nothing. Ruto, they will count for you. In Ruto's government, we have the AG. In Ruto's government, we have the Gor Ring Road. In Ruto's government, we have a new market. In Ruto's government, it will count for you so many things.
But is that I think maybe what we can say is that
that's why I told you. That's why I told you. Yeah. Ruto understands that Luo's politics is transactional. And Luo Nyanza people understand politics to be also transactional.
Yeah.
Hata wewe saizi ukienda kugombea ile kiti unatamani sana ile ya udiwani MCA ward, Ben, hebu sikiza. Kitu ya kwanza unaulizwa umetuletea nini?
mimi niwanie hizo vitu ndio sasa mimi hata sitaki.
Haya, unaulizwa ni umetuletea nini? Haya, nimewaletea ABCD okay. Na hao pia wanakuambia sisi ukituletea hii tunakuahidi
kura zetu.
So when politics becomes so transactional, the opposition cannot penetrate in places like Luo Nyanza.
So as it stands, President William Ruto will get good percentage of Luo votes.
No, he will get almost 70% of Luos voting for him in 2027, or 60%. He will get a big chunk. Whether they decide this is the sad reality. Whether they decide to leave William Ruto and join Kalonzo and Gachagua, Ruto is assured that 50% of them will vote for him. Yeah.
All right.
So hiyo tumemalizana nayo.
So as it stands, you believe President William Ruto is home and dry, especially when it comes to the Luo votes?
Yeah, because it is transactional, and the opposition is not offering that transaction.
Maybe okay, but can they return the favor to Kalonzo Musyoka, saying that Kalonzo has worked with Baba, supported Baba for almost 3 consecutive elections?
That requires people who are sane. People who are sane can look at things that way, but the insanity in politics will not allow you to look at things that way. It requires some kind of remorse, some kind of soul searching, some kind of honesty, and there's no honesty in politics. So the people who will vote for Alonso, those are people who are genuinely honest. They feel that you have stood with Baba for a very long time. It is time for us to give you back. They are those people who will vote for Kalonzo from that perspective. And there are people who will vote for Kalonzo for the hatred of William Samoei Ruto, or not the hatred, the people he is now associating with, DM. There are people who don't like. There are people who would loved William Samoei Ruto as a person, but the people he's associating with is the one that is now turning away most of the votes again. That is another aspect of it.
Now let's look at Kenya, the voters right now. What would be the driving factors to Kenyan voter to the ballot? What would drive them to vote?
You know what drives people to vote in Kenya is enthusiasm. In politics, you have to have that charisma to ignite the base. Now, you have to create some urge. You see, the urge that William Ruto is creating in each and every election cycle. Now, he has created an urge of something called Singapore. Yeah. So anybody who is telling you, hey, mambo ni 2 term, then wanakuambia sisi tunaelekea safari ya Singapore. Now, in Singapore is very it's an illusion. Yeah. He has created an illusion in your head that if you vote for me, we will realize what the people of Singapore are now realizing in being a first world economy. So that is the driving factor. Sisi tunaenda, hata somebody who is semi-literate, hata juu Singapore ni nini, anakuambia sisi ni tuko Singapore.
So which means the driving factors to the ballot for majority of Kenyan people is not going to be the challenges that the country is facing, but they are going to
by narratives.
So narratives is going to be the driving factors to the ballot.
Yeah, narratives is what is driving people to the ballot. The narrative that that Kasongo ni mwizi. You see that narrative that Kasongo ametunyang'anya, amefanya hivi. So we are going to vote against William Samoei Ruto because first, SHA is not working, capitation is not working properly, housing is we are being deducted a lot of money. So that is what the opposition is capitalizing on. All right.
Yeah.
So that is the narrative they're selling on the other end. Now, on Uruto's end, what is he selling? Hey, we have done good housing, SHA is working properly, and we are on the road to Singapore.
Which even Oburu the other day was confirming that Raila said that he's taking you to Canaan, but I will take you Canaan through Singapore. That's what Oburu said. Did you hear that?
Yeah, you see. So what is the narrative being sold here? Singapore. Yeah.
But now, at what point will sometimes the voters themselves knows that there's what we called the political manipulation for those who are living in the lower cadre of society, yeah, and this is like what they are bargaining with. They are bargaining with your lower cadre to get what they want.
That is why somebody put it very, very clearly the other day. I don't know who I was watching. I can't remember. In Kenya today, the most dangerous people are the voters, not even the leaders. The level of ignorance between those who are uneducated, those who are educated, those who are in the middle cadre here, the middle class and all that, the level of political ignorance is just too much.
Is it political ignorance or political illiteracy?
No, it is. I will call it ignorance. I will call it ignorance, and I will call it. How do you? Okay, how? Give me a old professor, our old doctor, Dr. Buru, who is a doctor by profession. By age, he has got experience. He is telling you we are now not going to Canaan, but we are going to Canaan through Singapore. We are going to Canada through Singapore. Now, this is somebody who is very educated. He has if you look at his backyard, there's no water, there's no clean water among the people of Bondo that he represents. There are no proper schools in that area. The infrastructure is what the government is right now working on. Yeah. But already he knows that we are heading to Singapore. Now, he should be pressed. And that is why, Brother Ben, you have a media. And that is why even me, I have my own media, Afriq24, where we tend to break these things down and tell, this is what it is. The voters in Kenya are either they are ignorant by choice, they chose to be ignorant, or they have decided to be manipulated by choice. They have decided that this is our fate. Sisi ni watu wa kutumiwa, wamekubali watumiwe.
Mi nakubaliana na wewe bado pia nakosa kukubaliana na wewe. Mimi nadhani kuwa siasa zetu zimekuwa ni siasa za biashara, na bado nakuja pale ulikuwa umesema transactional politics. Ni ile siasa ya kubadilishana. Ni kama tuseme kwamba unabadilisha fedha, ama unaona ni kwamba mimi ndakupatia hiki, ndakupatia hizi, kwa sababu one thing that you see in what is happening in the politics is it's not about issue based.
There's no issue.
There's no even when you come to opposition, if you can talk to opposition right now, the united opposition, and tell them, okay, what is it that you want to do for us? Because okay, you're telling us that the administration of President William Ruto is not doing this and this and this and this. But what are you offering? What is the alternative? Yeah, because look at how they are operating. You say that now you've seen actually they've changed tact on how now they want to. I've seen them going to the police. They had a conversation with the IEBC, at least. But I don't think that they've reached that point whereby they can woo majority of the voters, because one of the things that drives the Kenyan politics is about transactional commercialization of politics. Is so much commercialized. For instance, we've talked about the Nyota Fund. If a whole executive can go to Kisii and you look at what they are going to do, they are going to launch it there. Look at the budget or reallocation or the budget that comes with the president, because like before president goes somewhere, there must be prior arrangements. The people who are just the security
mobilization,
before you mobilize, but now you're looking at the security of the president. Forget about mobilization. Mobilization can be done by political surrogates of the president. Those are the people who are doing mobilization. But what the police or the security apparatus to make sure that where the president is going, president is safe. And remember, he was in Kisii, is going to be in Kisumu on Monday. Look at that money that is going to be used, especially in the security agency. And look at what is happening in education, or look at what is happening in other areas.
You have a point.
Yeah, because look, for example, you say that on Monday, Ruto will be going back. The president will be going back to Kisumu. He was just in Kisii the other day. This is still one region that the president was in. Look at the security, because there must be a security team that are even right now they're in Kisumu. When they are here, they are not there without the money. They have to use money. They have to make sure all that the president, the day that the president is coming until the president is going to leave, how much is going to be used as compared to the president now talking with people, the youths, about the Nyota Fund and all that. And you said it earlier, Oparanya should be in charge of that, because I don't think that Oparanya needs especially that high magnitude.
Hata huyo Oparanya ushamuona kwa hizo vitu za nyota, mi hata aliendaga hapi Oparanya.
And another thing that also, Mzalendo, we should look at right now, the world has gone digital. There's some of the things that you don't need to go on the ground, especially with the tech, especially the people that president is dealing with. You're dealing with people who are knowledgeable when it comes to technology. These are some of the you just explain to them and tell them these are what to do. Give them a link. The link will prompt you.
Unaona after hiyo meeting ya Kondele, ungeona kinojenda wanapeana 1,000 line, lazima watu watapanga hapo jioni. So and then it tells you how people are idle. We nani yani ati president anaenda mahali town yote watu wamefunga duka. Hakuna biashara inaendelea.
I don't think it is only in Luo Nyanza, but I think it is how the politicians have changed the way they do their politics. They've made the money to become the priority, to wink. I would say to wink you, or to make you think quite much differently. Nataya anakuja na sisi tunatoka. Hey Simba.
Yes, brother Ben, kwa nini mnatoka saa hizi? Sasa ndio masaa ya kuchapa siasa.
Wewe hata tangupatiwe hiyo 3 million ukatuacha kama rafiki yako, hata tukuoni ushaimaliza ndio unarudi baba.
By the way, hakuna 3 million.
ilikuwa ngapi? Ilikuwa 6 million.
Nakwambia sisi tunapenda hii serikali bure, sio eti hata pesa.
Ebu Simba, wacha nikuulize swali hapa. Kuna hii swala ya Nyota Fund, ya? Na ni kitu ya dijitali. Tunaona kwamba rais anakuja na ofisi yake yote, wale ambao wanakuja, utapata kwamba pesa ambayo inatumika, the expenses that the president is using to launch or to do the campaigns on the Nyota Fund ni mingi sana. Wewe kwako unaona aje, ama kuna njia gani labda angetumia ungepeleka pesa mingi sana?
Brother Ben, unajua mimi hata nashangaa Wakenya. Wakenya ni watu ambao wanazaliwa wakiwa wanapinga kila kitu, hata kuwa kuahidi. Mwanzoni tumekuwa na hawa vijana wakisema Ruto must. Same youth. Government imeleta project ya kuwasaidia waweze kujimudu. Lakini sasa watu wanataka wa question mpaka eti kwa nini fulani na fulani walikuja hapo. Wakati walikuwa wanawekwa pamoja wakiwa assembled, wanakuwa yani wanakuwa like kusaidiwa kwenda kupinga hiyo serikali. Watu waliuliza gharama yenye ilitumika.
Watu wakuuliza gharama yenye ilitumika, lakini kwa ile tunaweza sema kwamba ni idea mzuri, atukatai. Lakini sasa swali ni je, kulingana na vinye watu pia wameendelea kiteknolojia, kuna baadhi ya vitu ambazo zinaweza kukamilika kiteknolojia, tukiona kwa zile hata nchi ambazo zimeendelea, ambapo unapata kwamba ukitumia teknolojia unapata kwamba inafanya gharama inarudi chini kidogo. Hilo ndio swali watu wanauliza.
Watu watauliza hiyo yote brother Ben, lakini nauliza watu wanaona impact yenye inakuja after this, ama wao kazi yao ni kutumia siasa ya nchi kupinga anything?
Uzuri naye ipo, ni ile tu swali watu wanauliza, si kupinga. Sisi hatupingi, tunaangalia tu we are just weighing options. I said which one is the best way. We are not saying that
brother Ben.
Yes.
Brother Ben.
Wacha kudanganya Simba Anataya, tafadhali. Ukae ukijua si serikali ikianza kulikuwa na ile pesa ilikuwa na peano ya ile ya mkopo, ile ilikuwa napatiwa peana through huyu waziri wa ODM, waziri wenyu wa ODM Oparanya. Hii pesa ilikopwa ikapotea kabisa. Wakakuja na fund ingine ya empowerment. Hiyo pesa pia ikaporwa ikapotea kabisa. Sasa hii ndio fund ya tatu. Fund ya tatu imekuja.
Mzalendo
from World Bank.
Mzalendo, wacha nikuulize. Mzalendo, nataka nikuulize swali moja. Other than hii Nyota Fund, ni funds ngapi zinaendelea Kenya? Si kuna nyingi?
Yeah, kuna nyingi zinaendelea za serikali.
Sasa shida iko wapi?
No, sikiza, ni za serikali ama ni za watu binafsi?
Mimi nimeuliza other than.
No, ya serikali.
Other than Nyota Fund.
Ya serikali, tunaongea fund ya serikali.
Mzalendo, mimi nimeuliza tu swali ambayo ni rahisi na ni vizuri tuelewane. Other than Nyota Fund, ni fund ngapi zingine zinaendelea?
Other than Nyota Fund zile zinaendelea za mashirika tofauti ni nyingi, lakini zina utaratibu na ziko na zimekuwa hapo kwa muda. Na other than Nyota Fund ndio ya serikali peke yake.
Mimi nataka nikuulize swali moja. Ofisi ya rais si inakuwa na budget?
Ofisi ya rais inakuwa na budget. Nyota Fund haikuwa kwa budget.
ofisi ya rais sinakuwa na budget.
Hainaga budget,
Mbona mnalalamika ikiwa nimepewa budget ya kutumia waitumie vile wanataka? Mnataka kurestrict mpaka rais.
Haya, umeshinda. Simba data ya umeshinda.
Mimi nimekuuliza ofisi ya rais, sio Nyota Fund, ofisi ya rais.
Office of the President iko na budget ambayo ni open, inaweza tumia pesa vile inataka na haina audit. Hakuna auditor ataleta query kwa pesa yoyote ile rais anatumia.
Sasa mbona basi mnauliza eti kwa nini watu wengi wanakuja pale kama wanatumia fund yenye iko katika ofisi ya rais na zingine zile zenye wao wenyewe wametengewa kufacilitate vijana wa Kenya waweze kujimudu? Mbona watu wako na haya maswali ambayo hayana umuhimu?
No, umuhimu ni hivi. Hizi funds they are targeted, ziko na sababu yake ni moja, isaidie vijana. Watu wanalalamika kwa sababu hizi funds zimekuwa lakini hazijasaidia vijana, kwa sababu vijana wakizipata wanazitumia vibaya. So kuna njia ya kupeana hizi funds kwa njia ile taratibu na ni mzuri, ili iweze kupata faida kwa vijana, lakini don't use it to transact politics. Unajua, usitumie hii pesa kutafuta kura.
Mzalendo. Unajua vijana wa Kenya wamekuwa wakitumika vibaya from the word go. Hawa vijana wanatakiwa wawe busy wakijifanyia biashara zao, wakijifanyia kazi zao, na njia peke yake ni kuwapatia pesa. Mkiuliza jinsi ya kuwapatia pesa na ni pesa wamepewa, surely tunaamini nini?
Kuna elimu ya pesa. Pesa huwezi pewa tu hivi na una elimu.
Hawa vijana huwa wanapelekwa kwa training wiki mbili mzima mpaka wanatoka wakiwa na cheti, ndio wanapewa hiyo pesa. Wanakuanga facilitated.
Monday hii pesa inapeana Kisumu. Monday. Hebu tutaona ni wangapi wameenda.
Inakuanga ikipeanwa.
Hii pesa kwanza kuipata inapatwa aje? Hebu tuambie, kwa sababu wewe uko ndani, inapatwa aje? Ambia vijana wale wako nyumbani, hii pesa wakitaka wanaweza ipata aje?
Wewe ni mzee kama mimi, sisi tuko disqualified kutumia hiyo pesa. Sisi hatuko hapo, vijana wanajua vile wanaipata.
Simba data ya wewe uko na vijana bwana. Hebu tuambie, kama kijana wako anataka hii pesa anafanya aje?
Hataki yako na vitu zake anafanya.
Basi kuna form inaitwa National Youth Opportunity Towards Advancement Nyota Project. There's a form here. So they say who to apply. This is between 18 to 29 years up to 35 persons with a disability, unemployment in low income or vulnerable job, education from 4 level, education or below location, youth from all 44 counties. What you gain: life skills training, business and digital skills training, and on training, mentorship from industry experts, national recognized certificate, improve ability to get the job. Application reopen.
Brother Ben.
Yes.
Brother Ben.
Yeah.
Hiyo kitu ni paperless in the first test. Dial star 254 uende kwa Nyota, ni kwa simu yako. Hiyo fomu achana nayo.
Unaona hii yenye nakusomea, this is from the government platform.
Hiyo
wewe unasikia hii ya simu data,
achana nayo.
Enda kwa star, sema ni star
254. Enda kwa Nyota Fund. Ufuate hiyo procedure. Hiyo form hiyo ya Brother Ben hiyo hakuna.
Okay. I just thought I got it from
no.
Kwa wale ambao labda hawana simu na they cannot access this technology na they've qualified, how do they go about it, brother?
Brother Ben, unajua wewe hauko Kenya. Mambo ya kuwa na simu in Kenya sio issue saa hii. Hata kama ni mwenye ana pesa, kuna simu za kulipa polepole. Kila mtu ako na smartphone. Waachana na hii maneno ya hii yenye iko kwa mitandao sijui nini. Kila mtu ako na smartphone in Kenya, iko internet. Mimi niko kwa village. Hizi vile tunaongea na wewe.
Okay. Basi Simba sisi
ya kulipa 100 kila siku.
Hata kama ni 100, kwani hao vijana unafikiria hawana kazi ya kufanya 100? Huwa wana beti na pesa ngapi kwa siku? Huwa wanafanyaga betting kwa pesa ngapi per day?
Simba, mimi nataka kufunga, lakini kabla tujafunga, mimi nataka nikuulize swali. Ni takriban wiki 2 sijakuona, umekuwa wapi?
Mimi nimekuwa mashinani, tukiwa tunafanya mambo tu hapa kwa mashinani.
Okay, lakini uko vizuri?
Vizuri, niko tu sawa. Ni ile time tunapataga kwamba inatupika chenga kidogo, lakini uko sawa.
Aya, sasa wewe kesho tukiingia show inafaa ukuje utuambie, unajua, kwa sababu wewe ndio tunakujua kama wewe ni ambassador wa broad based government. So na kama huko tutakulima, lakini sasa atupati ribato.
Brother Ben, nipe kama dakika 2-3 na ninataka niseme mambo ambayo yako katika moyo wangu. Number 1. Second term for Ruto is undisputed.
Okay.
Hiyo ni number 1. Number 2, in fact, kila Mkenya ako busy. Kuna kazi nyingi sana hapa ya kufanya. Sio pesa hakuna Kenya, pesa iko. Ile kitu yenye imefanyika ni wanasiasa wanataka kuhype ile vitu yenye inafanyika na serikali na kutaka kukimbia naso kwa uongo tu. Kwa hivyo vijana wa Kenya wamepata rais mwenye anajali maslahi yake, kwa sababu ilikuwa ni kinyume, walitaka kutumika vibaya kumuondoa. Lakini hao vijana ambao walikuwa wamewekwa kwa barabara wanatakiwa kurudishwa kwa line, wawe empowered, wafanye kazi. In fact, hata hii dream ya Singapore, hawa vijana ndio wanatupeleka Singapore, sio watu wengine. Kwa sababu watu huwa wanateka advantage ya siku ya weekends, na unaona tear gas inatupa kwa makanisa. Na in fact ile kitu, wacha uone uchunguzi ukikamilika, uone culprits watatoka upande gani.
Lakini Simba, bila kuegemea upande wowote, kwa sababu labda tuseme kama sisi ambao tuko katika kwa mtandao ama watu ambao wako katika hapa media, bila kuegemea, kwa kweli jambo ambalo lilitokea si jambo nzuri, yeah? Na kwa kawaida mimi nimeona katika nchi ambazo zimeendelea, hata kwamba kwa nchi ambazo za Kiafrika, jambo kama hile likifanyika, huwa polisi lazima wakuje watuarifu, lakini hatujapata habari yote kutoka kwa polisi, na tuone ni nani atachukuliwa hatua kali.
Mimi nimekuambia vizuri na unisikize vizuri brother Ben, kwa sababu sisi wote tunayaangalia haya mambo yote katika mtandao, lakini hauwezi niambia kwamba kama kulikuwa na targeted leader anywhere, tear gas ingetupwa kutoka nje, kutoka ndani ya kanisa kwenda nje. Hii ni kitu yenye ilipangwa.
Okay, wacha sisi tusubiri, kwa sababu sisi we are not security experts, but we'll wait for the report from the law enforcement, and I would love to see whether it is from those who really planned the incident to make sure that they are answerable to the law. That is not something that
hawezi tuambia Malala ni expert wa hizi vitu, wakati hiyo kitu inakuwa state managed. Malala ako hapo kwa hiyo kanisa ndani. Yani ngoja kwanza brother Ben, ngoja kwanza, kwa sababu tunajua hawa ni watu ambao ni script writers, watu ambao wanatumika kuunda sarakasi na sinafanyika, kwa sababu hata Sonko mmoja wao alijitokesha na akasema vile walikuwa wananunua magari mabofu, wanaleta kwa barabara, wanachoma, alafu wanawekelea ni watu wa upinzani. Hii kitu si tofauti.
But nimekuelewa, lakini mimi kitu ambacho bado nasubiri tupate ripoti kamili, tuangalie ni wakina nani hawa hapa. Kama ni wakina Malala, kama walifanya hivyo, wajibike mbele ya sheria. Kama si hao pia wajibike mbele ya sheria, kwa sababu hatuwezi weka watoto wetu ama watoto ambao ni wachanga wapitie mambo kama yale tuliyoona. Si vyema. Na
Wacha ni kwamba brother Ben, ukweli ni kwamba ile sympathy yenye inatumika katika kanisa imetumika for a very long time, sio mara ya kwanza, na hii sio exceptional. Haya ni mambo ambayo watu ambao tumeona hizi sarakasi kifanyika hatuwezi amini, kwa sababu mtu mmoja awe anafuata kitu moja all the time. Hizi ni tricks ambazo saa hizi zimegunduliwa, na nimekuambia ngojea, kwa sababu
na Simba, unajua kwa nini sitaki kubaliana na wewe? Kwa sababu historia imetuonyesha hata Raila mwenyewe alipitia mambo kama haya. Sasa mnataka wakati huo nani alikuwa anaandika hizo vitu?
Issue ya Raila hawezi leta uifalishe Gachagua. Gachagua does not qualify kulinganishwa. Sasa
we are not talking about Rigathi Gachagua here. We are talking about what happened in the church. It is not the first time that it was happening. You know, it has happened 7 times.
Brother Ben,
and
kwa nini hizi gari? Kwa nini hizi gari? Kwa nini hizi gari?
Nataya.
Brother Ben, ngoja nikuulize. Kwa nini hizi gari zinakuanga damaged windscreens peke yake?
No,
why?
Mbona you are talking, you see the problem whereby I usually palinapata na kuwa na point of departure with everyone. People are not looking at the what damage or the stress that these kids went through. Nyinyi mnaangalia magari. Mbona msitetee watoto waseme kwamba tuangalie ni nani, kama ni kweli hao watu walifanya hapo, lazima wajibike, kwa sababu watoto hawezi. Mimi sitatekea mambo ya gari. Mimi naangalia maslahi ya watoto na wale wa mama.
Ndio mimi nimeuliza kabla sijafika hapo. Why is it that the only damage yenye unaona kwa hizi magari ni windscreens peke yake?
So and that is politics. I would want to engage somebody who would want to fight for the good place for the kids. I do not like a support where the kids are going through that. Hiyo ni kitu ambacho lazima, hiyo hata siungi mwanasiasa yoyote, lakini ikifika mahali watoto wanaweza pitia kwa sababu ya siasa na
Brother Ben, nitakuuliza swali la pili. Kwa nini hii stage managing yote huwa inafanyika within Central Kenya peke yake? Mbona Gachagua hawezi? Ngoja kwanza niulize ile swali unijibu. Kwa nini Gachagua hajaenda pande yote ya Kenya ndio hii incident ifanyike huko? Why?
And that is the question. Hata ukiangalia show yenye tulifanya, ukiangalia the majority of those incidents that have happened, they've just happened within Central Kenya. And the next question is kwa hayo yote mimi nataka nikuulize, targeted part of damage kwa hizi magari ni windscreens. Mahali incident zinafanyika ni Central peke yake. Why not outside Central Kenya? And then my question to you also, mimi pia unataka unijibu, kwa sababu hiyo sijui, na kuambia, how long does it take the security apparatus not to detect that somebody is going to do something like this? Because like we have to get information. Si inamaanisha kwamba kuna mahali ambapo kuna upungufu.
Mimi sio security expert kujibu hilo swali. Mimi nimeliongelea kisiasa. Hiyo siwezi jibu.
hata kama ni kisiasa, iwezi kuwa kwamba watoto wetu, watoto ambao ni wadogo wachanga, ambao wanalipa kitu ambacho siasa ambayo labda watoto wafaa waingilie. Mimi siingili sana watu wa siasa, lakini mimi naangalia maslahi ya watoto, kwa sababu tangu hii jambo itokee, mara mingi asilimia kubwa watu wanaongelea magari lakini hakuna mtu ambaye anazungumzia maslahi ya watoto, na ambapo si kitu kizuri sana kama nchi, si kitu kizuri. Kama tuwezi kuzungumzia vitu ambazo wale watoto wadogo walipitia, lakini sisi tunaangalia magari, inamaanisha hatuko vizuri. Inafaa tujiulize maswali mengi sana.
Kawaida brother Ben, mahali kitu imefanyika, watu ambao hawana utu, makosa huwa inakuanga ni kwa watu wenye hawana hatia, na hivyo ndio vile ilifanyika.
Lakini mimi ningefurahi, mimi hata kama ni Rigathi Gachagua ndiye alifanya hivyo, hata kama ni wakina nani walifanya hivyo, but kitu lazima kwamba kila mtu lazima ajibike. Everybody must be answerable, especially to make those kids to go under those kind of environment. It is not good for mental health, especially for those small kids. These memories will stay with them for the longest time in their lives, because like they are paying something that they do not know. Those kids do not even know that UDS exists. They do not know DCP exists. They do not know. They are innocent kids who went to church just to praise the Lord and say thank you to the Lord for what the Lord has done for them. But what happens? Take situation, advantage of the situation. And we are not talking about their life. Hata tangu hiyo kitu ifanyike, has these children gone through even counseling? We don't know.
Brother Ben.
Yeah.
Unajua mimi nitakuuliza swali moja. Ukiwa wewe ni kiongozi na nia yako ni kuenda kuabudu, umeweza aje for a very short time kuassemble other politicians from the rest of the country, ndio drama imepatikana mwisho?
Hapo naye siwezi jibu, but like to me, kwa hii incident, I'm not supporting any politicians or I'm not supporting any playwriting, but what I'm advocating for, I'm advocating for anybody who might be involved to create that scene must be answerable and has to pay for it, especially for the sake of the children. Hapo naye mimi sita muendea mwanasiasa yoyote ama sema nini hapo naye, hapana. You cannot do that. Even if it is them, you cannot do that for young people, especially those small kids. You cannot. Uwezi fanya hivyo.
Hiyo ni njia moja ya kutaka kudivert attention ya watu na kuwaweka katika harakati ya kuwa ni kama wana sympathize with your political agenda. So hiyo ndio imekuanga mbinu kama kawaida, na nataka niseme kwamba hiyo peke yake.
Yeah. And Simba, if that is the political agenda, then we are waiting. That's why, like I said, let's wait for the security agents and the security to come up with the report. If it is, and they have to make sure that the prosecution is done.
Ndio mimi nimekuambia, at the end of the day, unajua tutapata ukweli. Unajua hii kitu haikufanyika usiku, and you will be surprised exactly what I've told you.
No, to me, one thing that I will not get surprised, Simba Nataya, I will not get surprised. What I want is to see that the rights of those kids and those who made them to go through those, whether it is from them or from who they are accusing themselves, no. Hawa watoto walipitia kitu ambacho wangefaa wapitie, na tukubaliane kwa hayo.
Hiyo mimi nakubaliana na wewe, na nataka nikuulize swali moja. Now, kesi ya Gachagua inaendelea katika High Court. Kutoka hapo itaendelea maybe to Appeal Court. Kutoka hapo itaenda Supreme Court. Unaona timeline ya elections itampata kama hiyo kesi imemalizika?
Hapana, it depend on how it is going to be kwa courts, on how the process of our courts are. If they want to treat it as a matter of urgency, it can. But
haiwezi kuwa haiwezi kuwa matter of urgency. Kesi ni kesi na hivyo ndio itaendelea. Unajua hii peke yake ya jana already imeset way forward. Ndio mimi nimekuuliza, do you think itakuwa imemsafe in any way?
No, we have only 1 year. We have less than a year. Haitakuwa imemsaidia, but you know, it's about law. You know, huwezi sema ikifika mambo ya sheria hizo zitatumika hata to make some judgments, you know. It is not only to bring him down, but it's also strengthening. You know, one thing that we have to agree, Simba, and I said that when Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, one of the things that we have to agree is that during the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, one thing that happened, it tested the elasticity of our constitution, 2010 constitution, because this is something that happened that has never happened, you know, and it happened under new constitution. Even it has gone to the books of history that the first person to be impeached under new constitution is Rigathi Gachagua, and it has also opened doors for discussion, especially in some other gray areas on our constitution. And it's something that is okay. Even the ruling that was done today by the Supreme Court, testing the constitution that we have, which is setting the precedents in the judicial field.
Unajua hii haijakuwa isolated incident kwa sababu tumeona through that constitution our presidential elections zikiwa nullified, which also inaonyesha kwamba our constitution, in fact in Africa, that we have the best.
Yeah, that's I agree with you. Okay, Simba.
Despite kwamba yeah.
Leo nataka nikuache.
Nimeshukuru kwa kupata muda na tutaendelea kutokea hapo kesho majaliwa, alafu tuone vipi masiku zinasonga, lakini mkubaliane it's two term.
Mimi unajua, mimi kama niko hapa, mimi ndakuwa naangalia opposition, nawaambia msipojipanga Ruto tawashinda. Ruto pia sipojipanga pia opposition. Sasa sisi tutakuwa hapa provided the government that come in place, tukiona makosa we will call out those mistakes.
Nani atakuwa anashinda Ruto bana? Wapi presidential candidate? Wewe unaona pale kuna presidential hata sura ya mtu ambaye anaweza kuwa rais?
Okay, sawa Simba. Okay, thank you everyone for staying with me. It was a good conversation, and Simba and Atai joined us late in the conversation. Mzalendo has really left, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be in place same time. If you're new in Brother Benson Media, you can just subscribe so that when we are having conversation like this, the YouTube will notify you. You can also share your comments on the comment section whenever we go live. I'm seeing we are having 14 people who are watching us right now. Thank you so much for taking your time to be with Brother Benson, and may God bless you all.